Good evening, my brothers and sisters across Africa, across the seas, across the wide world. Tonight, I speak to you not only as the president of Burkina Faso, but as a son of Africa, as one voice among millions who carry the memory of our ancestors in our blood and the fire of freedom in our hearts. For centuries, others have spoken for us. Others have told our story, written our history, and shaped the world's image of who we are. They have called us poor, they have called us cursed, they have called us broken. But I say tonight no more. No one will tell our story better than we can. No one will define us again. We are not a people waiting to be saved. We are a people ready to rise. Africa's story did not begin with slavery. It did not begin with colonization. It began long before, in villages where our mothers sang to the stars and in kingdoms where wisdom was our language. It began in the fields of Timbuktu, where books were gold, and in the hearts of the black man and woman who looked at the earth and saw life, not ownership. When others had no light, Africa burned bright, and though that light was dimmed by invasion, by chains, by lies, it was never extinguished. Tonight, it burns again. I have heard the news from the West. I have heard the talk of intervention in Nigeria, spoken in the name of protecting Christians. I say this clearly, we do not reject faith, we reject hypocrisy. Africa does not need saving by those who do not understand her soul. Every time they come with guns and say it is for peace, peace disappears. Every time they say they come for freedom, it is freedom that dies. If the West truly cared for African lives, it would not divide us by religion. It would not fund one hand of war while shaking the other in friendship. If they truly wished to save Christians, they would start by saving truth. No one can save Africa but Africans. We are not children. We are not experiments. We are a people who have suffered and survived everything the world has thrown at us: slavery, colonization, exploitation, deception, and yet here we are standing. The African has endured what no other race on this planet could have endured. They tried to erase us, but we became unerasable. They tried to silence us, but our drums spoke louder than their guns. Burkina Faso stands as a living symbol of that resilience. Our land is not large, our resources are not endless, but our spirit is boundless. When they cut our ties to their systems, they thought we would crumble. Instead, we built anew. They expected chaos, but they found courage. They expected surrender, but they found sovereignty. Because the dignity of our people is not for sale. Not today, not ever. To those in Washington, in Paris, in London, hear this clearly. Africa is not your battlefield. Africa is not your laboratory. Our people are not your subjects. If you want peace, respect our sovereignty. If you want friendship, start with equality. If you want to help, do not bring weapons, bring respect. Do not bring soldiers, bring understanding. The age of domination is ending, and a new era has begun. The era of partnership, not paternalism. The era of dignity, not dependency. They call our awakening a nightmare. Yes, it is a nightmare for those who have built their wealth on our silence. It is a nightmare for those who have drunk from our rivers and left us thirsting. But for us, it is a dawn. For us, it is life. Africa is awakening, and no force on earth can stop it. We are no longer begging for a seat at the table. We are building our own table, and at it, every African child will have a place. We will not measure progress by how much aid we receive, but by how much freedom we hold. We will not measure development by the height of foreign buildings, but by the strength of African hearts. In Burkina Faso, we are building a nation where education is a right, where health is a duty, and where no child must die for lack of bread. We are building a future where black hands build black futures. This is not arrogance, it is self-respect. It is the minimum that any nation deserves. To my black brothers and sisters in the Americas, in the Caribbean, in Europe, you are not forgotten. You are the children of our stolen generations. You were taken in chains, but you carried Africa in your soul. You are not guests in this story, you are its continuation. You are not lost children, you are our reflection in another world. When you raise your voice for justice in the streets of New York, when you sing for freedom in Kingston, when you dance in Rio, Africa hears you. And we answer, come home. Not to escape where you are, but to remember who you are. Come home with your ideas, your creativity, your strength. Come home and build bridges, not walls. They told you that being black was a burden. I tell you tonight it is a blessing. You are the descendants of kings and queens, the heirs of warriors who faced death and kept their dignity. You are not the children of slaves. You are the descendants of the enslaved, and that distinction is everything. They took your chains away, but they kept your minds bound with lies. Today, we break those last chains. Today, we say it again, impossible is not African. Religion has been used to divide us for too long, but in Africa, we have always known something greater than division. The Christian and the Muslim, the believer and the traditional, we have always lived side by side. We pray differently, but we share the same water, the same sun, the same destiny. Faith is not a reason to fight, it is a reason to forgive. No God asks his children to hate. Let no outsider come and tell us who should die in the name of religion. The God of Africa is a God of peace, and we, his people, will protect that peace. Our struggle is not against nations, it is against injustice, it is against exploitation, it is against the arrogance of those who think Africa is a playground for profit. We do not hate America. We do not hate Europe. We simply love ourselves enough to stand tall. We love our children enough to defend their future. We love our land enough to fight for it. To President Trump, to any leader who listens, I say this as a man and as a father: power is not strength if it is used to destroy. True strength is restraint. True leadership is respect. You may have your armies, your money, your influence, but we have something you cannot buy: the soul of a people that refuses to bow. History will not remember those who dominated. It will remember those who restored dignity. If the United States truly believes in freedom, then stand for the freedom of others. Do not use faith as a reason for war. Use wisdom as a reason for peace. Africa's youth are awake now. You will not deceive them with loans. You will not silence them with fear. They are coding apps in huts, growing food from dry soil, teaching themselves what no one taught their fathers. They do not wait for opportunities, they create them. This is Africa's quiet revolution, not of violence, but of vision, not of hatred, but of hope. They no longer dream of leaving for Europe, they dream of building Africa here. And that is what frightens the world most. They used to conquer us with chains, now they try to conquer us with stories, with headlines that tell the world we are broken. They call us unstable, they call us dangerous, they call us corrupt. But the truth is, they fear our unity. That is why they fund division. That is why they plant confusion. They understand that in Africa united under one voice, one purpose, one dream would be unstoppable, and that is exactly what we are becoming. We are building our own media, our own voice, our own truth. No longer will the world see Africa only through foreign lenses. The time has come to speak to our people directly, to tell our stories, to share our victories and our vision, because when we speak, the world will listen. And when the world listens, the world will change. I say this tonight to every African child: you are not poor, you are powerful. Do not let anyone make you ashamed of your skin, your accent, your roots. Your blackness is not a curse. It is your connection to the oldest and most enduring lineage on earth. The blood that flows in you is the blood that built pyramids, that resisted empires, that refused extinction. Walk tall, speak proudly, and when they ask you who you are, tell them you are the descendant of those who could not be destroyed. Africa's future will not be written in Washington or in Paris. It will be written in Lagos, in Dakar, in Nairobi, in Ouagadougou. It will be written by teachers, by farmers, by engineers, by artists, by every African who refuses to die, waiting for permission to live. We are no longer the dark continent. We are the luminous continent. We are the land of sunrise, not sunset. I speak to you tonight as a man who believes in peace, but not submission. I speak as one who believes in unity, but not uniformity. I speak as one who believes that the destiny of black people, wherever they live, is one and indivisible. What happens in Nigeria touches us in Burkina Faso. What happens in Haiti echoes here. What happens in America reaches our hearts. We are one people, divided by distance, but united by history. Let us rise together, not in hatred, but in harmony. Let us heal the wounds left by centuries of lies. Let us build a future where no African child goes to bed hungry, where no mother cries for a son lost to war, where no elder dies without seeing freedom bloom. We owe this to our ancestors. We owe it to our children. We owe it to ourselves. So tonight, to the world, to those who still see us through the eyes of pity, I say, come and see. Come to Burkina Faso. Walk our streets. Talk to our people. See how we live with dignity, even in difficulty. See how we smile, even in struggle. You will understand that the black man does not need saving. He needs space to soar, and soar he will. May God bless Burkina Faso. May God bless Africa. May he bless every black soul who carries within them the memory of home, because the time has come not for despair, but for destiny. Not for silence, but for song. Not for chains, but for choice. The time has come for Africa to rise not as a shadow of others, but as the sun of humanity. Africa is awake, and Africa will never sleep again.